Okay, so I decided to bust out another video. I want to talk about manipulation strategies that the narcissists use. They use a very specific set of manipulation tactics that are common among all narcissists. Now, some of them, not every narcissist uses all of these, but every narcissist will use at least one of these. The majority of them actually use a combination of several, and that's what makes them so terrible, is because they have more than one way to manipulate you. And because of that, what they tend to do, so you don't catch on, is they rotate through their manipulation tactics, so it's not the same way 2 times in a row. So they'll use gaslighting once, then they'll use triangulation once, then they'll use powerful dependence once. All of these different manipulation strategies, there's 9 of them, technically 10 if you consider what's called the multiple offender, which is somebody who uses a combination of them, which is extra terrible when you start getting somebody who gaslights you from a powerful dependent standpoint, or if somebody's gaslighting you while triangulating against a mutual friend. And we can go into those in some other videos. And I'll include a link. There's an excellent channel called Psych to Go, where it's this cute little cartoon, and they cover all the manipulation tactics with a cute cartoon and cute music that's very short. The gaslighting. What is gaslighting? That's where whenever they do something or say something, and then whenever it comes back up in an argument, like say the topic of Jane at work, how she's single and how she's always coming up to you and being real nice to you, flirting. It's like, yeah, the other day I was, at work and making coffee, and Jane sort of came up and she kind of brushed up against me, which I thought was strange because, nobody else was in there but just us. It's not like she didn't have any room. Pretty sure she likes me. I'm pretty sure she wants to bang me, but, she's giving mixed signals, right? So they'll come and they'll plant stuff like that, which are little argument seeds. Those are little conflict seeds. That's something else that they do. They're constantly planting little seeds for conflict later. They know that they're doing it. And later on, when you're fighting, be like, oh, like you and Jane. What does Jane have to do with this? You're always talking about Jane, always how she's always brushing up on you, blah, blah. No, that's not what I said. And so then what they do, what gaslighting is they come back and they'll say something to you initially, and then later on when it comes back up, they say, no, that's not what I said. What I said is Jane did that to Frank. I was talking about Frank. You just don't remember that because, as always, you weren't listening. I was telling you about how Frank was telling me all of this stuff. So that's what gaslighting is. It's particularly evil and particularly devastating because when used effectively, you can completely sweep the rug of reality out from somebody when it's used effectively. When a narcissist is doing it to you, it completely destroys your own reality, and you don't know what's true anymore. You don't know what's false anymore. You live in a constant state of confusion about your own life. You start to depend on the narcissist to tell you what's real and what's not. And pretty soon, it gets to the point where you have nothing in a fight because you're not even sure if you've understood correctly. And so you're usually just one to give in whenever the narc gets mad or starts to say something. Then you're just like, oh yeah, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. So that's gaslighting. So what do you do about it? You record everything. There are stealth recording applications in both iTunes and in Google Play. Look for stealth recorders. These are extremely useful apps because you can start and stop an audio recording or even a video recording sometimes with the proper settings. I have one where I press the power button 3 times with the screen off. Just tapping the power button 3 times quickly starts it recording. The screen never comes on. I don't have to unlock my phone. It just looks like I'm holding my phone in my hand. Tap, tap, tap. Starts recording. And I can do that in my pocket. That's the other thing. Phone microphones are usually good enough where they can pick up audio from within your pocket. So just reach down, have the microphone side up of your phone, tap, tap, tap. And if the audio is bad, which it usually will be, there's usually some free apps. WavePad is a good one that I like. They can go in and apply a low pass filter or a high pass filter depending on, and you can enhance the audio so you can remove a lot of the muffling with like a high pass filter, and then just amplify. And then you can hear everything word for word. So the stealth recorder, keep it in your pocket, record what they say. Later on, when you're in your car, commuting or anywhere else, go back and review and just remember what was said. Go into your recordings, give them useful names. You know, Narc talks about Jane in the break room, right? And go back and listen to these recordings regularly, because that's the only way that's the most effective defense against gaslighting, because they're still going to deny that they're doing it, but it gives you a stronger position of confidence in the fight. You know, so blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're always talking about Jane, blah, blah. No, what I said was that Frank, it was Jane and Frank, but you weren't listening. No, that's absolutely not what you said. You don't get to conveniently change, reality just to fit the purposes of this fight, which you always do. So, like I said, that's gaslighting. We'll talk about other manipulation tactics in other videos. But gaslighting is by far one of the most common tactics used by a narcissist. Certainly one of the most evil. And it's very difficult to know what's going on if you don't have recordings to rely on. They make you doubt yourself, and they make you doubt your recollection of events. And the thing is after several times, you really start to doubt it. Because after several times, you start to believe that you really just don't understand this person, or that you're dumb, or that you're insecure. And then you actually do develop legitimate insecurities about yourself. Because clearly you're wrong. Clearly you misunderstood. Clearly you don't know what's going on. They convince you of it. And then that puts you in a position of weakness, and that cultivates very real insecurity with you. And then once you have that insecurity, it's really hard to stand up and say, no, I'm right. Really, you're right. You know, little miss never understands a word I say. Oh, you're right. You know, Mr. Space Cadet, Mr. I don't know what's going on with my own wife. You know, they say stuff like that. So yeah, record everything. Get a stealth recorder, learn how to use it. Record your arguments and go back and listen later, and just take some mental notes about what was said, and because then you can go back and listen to a previous argument. So, you argue, you go back and listen to the argument. He said that he said Frank. Then you can go back and listen to the previous argument. No, he clearly said it was him. And do not ever reveal that you're doing this to a narcissist. Never, ever reveal it. I mean, you just might as well flip your cards up and play a poker hand face up. Never expose them. This is for you, and for you to learn and recognize. And what's going to happen, it really doesn't take too many arguments before you yourself recognize, I'm right, they're wrong, this is a toxic relationship, and I need to get the hell out of here. It will give you the confidence you need to know that you're not crazy, that you're not crazy, that you're not crazy. You're not imagining this. You're not misunderstanding this. It is something somebody is doing to you to abuse you. So, thank you very much. Please like, comment, or share if this helps. I want to hear from you. Please comment about anything else. I'm here to help. That's the whole reason why I do these videos. Low production value. I could care less about YouTube likes, views and all that, stats. I just want to help people. Please comment. Let me know what's going on with you. Thanks, and God bless.